each partner, headmaster of each school, have presentation. We start with Agnello. We have, and after we not our report, maybe we change.
Good morning again. There is a high probability of everything I will say be already known by you. But I think it's never too much to expose our weakness in this issue of autonomy, schools autonomy. So, schools autonomy, I can see 5 main issues about schools autonomy. First of all, schools internal structure. This is how schools organize themselves. Please feel free to correct my spell and my grammar, because normally I do wrong. So feel free to interrupt me. I was saying schools internal structure is what a kind of organization, how schools organize themselves, what structures they have. Another issue is students' admission, how students can choose a school. Is it possible a student to choose the school he wants? Parents have this possibility to choose school or no? One other is the curriculum design. Can schools define its own curricula, or curricula is defined by someone? There is a core national curriculum. How is this? And is the third issue. Another issue, very important, is teacher recruitment. How schools get teachers? Can they choose teachers? Can they choose them? Or there's another type of allocating teachers to schools. And finally, the budget issue. The budget, money is always important. How schools are funded and how schools manage this budget. So I think these 5 issues are the mainstream of autonomy in schools. I will see every one of these 5 issues quickly, because I only have 5 minutes. And I will start with, let's see. How things are in Portugal. Schools internal structure. All schools are equal. No chance to have some variance from one school to another. All things have a general board. The general board mainly chooses the director, is the mainly thing general board did, and the director manages the school, the pedagogical issues, and he has a pedagogical board who assists himself in this matter. And all schools are like that. The margins of autonomy schools have are in the composition of these structures, only in the composition. Some schools have representatives of the municipality, more or less, but in general, they are equal. Very few changes from one to another. And pedagogical board, in pedagogy, yes, schools have some margin of autonomy to allocate, to choose people within pedagogical board. There are only teachers, and in general board is all community, representatives of municipality, teachers, non-teacher staff, parents. The whole community is represented in general boards, but there are 21 members in all schools of Portugal. So, a little margin of autonomy regarding pedagogical laws only. Students' admission. How students can choose? No freedom of choice. No freedom of choice. Students are distributed by schools on base of geographical criteria. They trend to be to assist the nearest school of its residence, of its own. If a parent wants to choose a particular school, probably he will go to non-public school, because if he wants to keep in the public schools, in the state school, so he can choose to go to the school nearest his own. About curriculum, we have a centrally defined curriculum. Mr. Formosinho, a well-known Portuguese researcher from the University of Minho, said a very fine sentence. We have a single-sized and ready-to-wear curriculum, and this is for everyone. Another aspect of our curriculum is the atomization. Atomization in the sense that there are several school matters, school subjects, and restricted time for each one. I can tell you that, for instance, geography can have 2 hours weekly, only 2 hours, or French, or English has 3 hours. So many school subjects and little time, but nobody wants to change this. Nobody. I will tell you, Father. In primary and lower secondary schools, we call lower secondary basic school. Secondary school is basic school. Lower secondary is basic school. Schools can decide less than 5% of curriculum. This is we can choose in the basic school one discipline, one matter, only one, about an hour and a half a week. It's very little. So, as you see, at this level of curriculum, schools have very low autonomy, very little autonomy. Teacher recruitment. How schools recruit, how schools contract as teachers. Well, we have a very funny thing. We have a national list ordered according to experience time, basically to experience time. Also, academic classification, academic graduation, but mainly experience time. And every teacher, even a substitute, is requested to the minister's office. This is when I need a teacher. Imagine I have a teacher that got sick and I need to substitute it. I must report to the minister's office, and Mr. Office give me a teacher. I don't know who he is. I don't imagine. I don't know his skills. I used to play with this thing, making an analogy with football. It was like in football teams. It was like Manchester United or Chelsea Football Club. Do not choose any more players. The Football Association will promptly deploy teachers players to football clubs. And so you have a football league, very nice, with older peoples in Manchester or Chelsea and the younger people in Leicester. Leicester is in front of championship now. Okay, I think this is very funny. I must go back to tell you, our former government had passed a law, and this law was given the schools the possibility to define 50% of the criteria to select teachers. And the other 50% was the national list. So schools could define some criteria to choose teachers. But this new government quickly ended this shine of autonomy, and we go back. We did get back to the old national ordered list. About budget, how schools are funded. Well, funds for teachers and staff salaries is monthly required to the Ministry Office. Schools don't account these funds as its own budget. That simply don't count. Every month we make the accountability, and we need X euros request to Minister Office to pay salaries every month. For operating expenses, what I know of operating expenses are current expenses, electricity, water, paper, current expenses. For current expenses, the Ministry Office gives to schools a budget, a global budget, and this budget is dimensioned according to the number of students. It's more or less like this. There are other variables, of course, but essentially the number of students. Finally, schools can use a small budget resulting of its profits. Some schools get some profits, for instance, cafeteria profits we have, or from loans. We can do loans of installations, and so and also some money that we don't spend in international projects like Erasmus. And this money goes to our private budget. And so if you see the margin of autonomy schools have are only on this little private budget here. The rest is centrally defined. But in Portugal, this is very interesting because the speech rhetorical is all about autonomy. Everybody claims for autonomy. Everybody. We hear teachers claiming, oh, if you have autonomy, we could design a curriculum. Yes, but we have experiences in time, and when teachers are, okay, you can decide. No, no, because it's more comfortable to accomplish the rules that decide and take the responsibility. So teachers do not want. And another thing, very funny, very interesting, is that teachers want that schools make things exactly the same way that the neighbor school do. Exactly the same way. If we change something in school, so, oh, in Viseu they don't do like that. It's wrong. So everybody begs for autonomy. The ministry himself, all ministers, and make a political speech full of autonomy's references. Every time. Autonomy is every time in the speech of the politicians. But as you know, giving some margins of autonomy to schools would imply a loss of power to the minister. Nobody wants to lose power. So the rhetoric is in the sense of giving autonomy, but in reality, the action is to centralize things. And we have another and more delicate matter against autonomy. This is our labor teacher unions, our syndicates. Our syndicates are deeply against autonomy, but his speech is full of autonomy, and they are requesting autonomy, but they don't want it. They don't want it. No. You can see, this is FEMPROF. FEMPROF is the major teacher union, syndicate. I think I can say syndicate. It's a major union. It's a branch of the National Communist Party. And this is in Portuguese, but I think you can read it easily. Autonomy and management of schools. Autonomy contributes FEMPROF to autonomy. If we read the questions related to autonomy, direction and management of schools are the most relevant to school lives, full of autonomy. And if we read the paper, look at the date, February 2016, is today, practically today. So they are reinforcing, and they say it, reinforcing autonomy of schools autonomy. They want take decision, curriculum decision, define organization model. I think you can read Portuguese. Read a little out. FEMPROF speech and this recent paper, there are many others, are very focused on claiming for autonomy. But if we read further and deeper, we find this. FEMPROF defends claiming that autonomy of schools should not include contracts of teachers, docents are teachers, by schools or by the municipalities. So they don't want schools to choose their teachers. No, should not make part of autonomy. Free selection of students, no autonomy for that. Should not include a global budget to schools that include salaries funds. So, what kind of autonomy wants the syndicates? What? And the biggest problem is that we had till this moment, we never had a government that want to really face the syndicates. And so things are not going further, are not going towards success. And we remain in a situation where everybody begs for autonomy, but really nobody wants it. And this is the case in Portugal. Thank you very much.